Welcome back to Cuban with a Twist. Today we're going to make a carne guisada. Guisada means meat in the sauce. You're cooking meat in the sauce. So we're going to start because I want to roast some tomatoes. Okay? My aunt usually used to put a can of tomato sauce in there, but we're going to try to do this all natural. So I've got these little tomatoes, and they're running away from me. I'm going to put them all up here, and we're going to roast them before I put them in the dish. I think this is about 12 ounces, if I'm correct. And I'm just going to put 3/4 of it. Spread it across, some olive oil. Try to get them all. A little bit of sea salt. Cracked pepper. And these are going to bake in the oven at about 350 for about 10 minutes. Okay, so we're going to do that right now. Now we're going to take a look at the meat. I bought this meat at the butcher's. The fresh market here has the best quality meat, and that's where I always buy. This is a sirloin tip, okay, which I've seasoned with the lysanders. Okay, most of these come roped, so in this case we're going to take the rope off. We don't really need it, because we're going to cut it up into little chunks. And while I'm cutting this up, you see it opens up almost like a tenderloin. And we're going to just cut it into chunks. And at the same time I'm preheating my pot at 6.5 because in order for this to brown the way I want to before I start cooking it, it's got to be hot. You don't want to put cold meat into a cold pan. And sirloin is really a nice meat. It doesn't have a lot of fat in it. And when you cook it slow, it really falls apart nicely. Now, I always say you can buy your meat anywhere, but really most of the dish depends on the quality of the beef. So if you want to spend money on the quality of the beef that you buy. Sliced up the sirloin, so I'm just making sure that all pieces get that extra little powder that's around. Okay. My pot's nice and hot, so I'm just going to start placing these in there. There you go. That's the sound that you want to hear. Give it a couple of seconds so I can just start. And then you want this to brown, not completely cooked, but just brown on each side. And that's probably going to take about 5 or 6 minutes or so. So you're going to keep on stirring it because you don't want it to stick to the bottom. And then use your wooden spoon. Always use a wooden spoon because that really doesn't damage your pots. That nice brown color all the way around. Now while our beef is browning, I've chopped up some of our vegetables. We've got some green and red peppers. We have some portobello mushrooms, sweet onion sliced in 4. We have about a pound or a little less of Yukon potatoes. About 3/4 of a pound, okay? And then we have 4 cloves of garlic. Now we're going to add this to our dish, okay? So we're going to start with the onions and the red peppers and the mushrooms. I'm just going to add that in. Okay? Stir it around. Now the reason that I've left the onions large like that is because they're going to cook in the sauce. Then they'll eventually soften up. And help add flavor to the dish. Okay. We're going to give that a few minutes. And we're going to add our garlic right now. Always try to use fresh ingredients. I mean, I can't, tell you how much better that tastes, how much better that is for you. So we're going to add the garlic. And I'm going to let that cook until the vegetables start to soften up. And then we'll add our stock, our red wine, and a little extra special ingredients. I pulled the tomatoes out. As you can see, they're nicely roasted. They got a little bit of brown. Okay, we're going to take that and we're going to add it to our dish. That's going to help the sauce. That's going to help create the sauce is really what I should say. So let's get started. Just bring it all in. Okay. Just move it around. Everything else. I'm going to let that sit just for a couple of more minutes before we add our potatoes and our stock. Right, I've been stirring this pot now for about 2 or 3 minutes. All the vegetables are nice and soft now. Okay, you can see meat's got a nice color. Now we're going to add cubitos of beef. I've added it to about 1 cup of water, 2 cubitos. I've added that. We're going to add our 3/4 of a pound of the Yukon potatoes, diced up. And about 3/4 of a cup of Cabernet. Okay, just a little add right there. Nice. Move it around. This dish takes a few hours because you really want it to cook to get all of the flavors. So we're going to put it on low now. We've got it on 6. We're going to bring it down to about a 2.6. And you're going to check on your dish every 30 minutes or so. Okay, top it off. We're going to finish it with a little fresh basil. I'm going to take a couple of leaves. Okay, and I'm going to toss it on the top. And I'm going to take a little of fresh oregano. Now I'm not going to chop this up. I'm just going to add it to the top because I want the steam to pull the flavors out. There we go. Then we'll top it. And we'll be back in about half an hour. It's been about an hour or so, so we're going to take the top off and let's take a look at where we're at. Great color. Nice sauce. The potatoes are nice and soft. But for right now, I want the sauce itself to thicken up a little bit, so I'm going to not put flour in it. I'm going to actually let it steam off a little bit. So we're going to take the top off, and we're going to check it now, everybody, every 20 minutes or so, because you don't want it to get too dried out. Okay, so about every 20 minutes, we're going to come and take a look at it. Top off, 2.4. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes, as you can see. The sauce is nice and thick now. The meat cuts easily with a spoon. The potatoes are nice and soft. It's ready to be plated. The dish is plated. We're all done. It's been about a 2.5 hour meal, but well worth it. I've plated it with some white rice and some platanitos maduro. Okay, that's actually going to be our dinner tonight. So thank you so much for watching our videos. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and watch us on syndicatednews.net. Thank you so much.